Hello, everybody, and welcome to our Wednesday bi-weekly coffee chat with elder care attorney Rob Seletsky. And today we're welcoming our special guest speaker, Jan Zacharjasz, and she is the founder of Coaching for Resilience. Jan's going to be talking to us today about being resilient through COVID and beyond. Welcome, Jan.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Heather. And Rob, thanks for inviting me to join you. And what a wonderful, lovely group you've got here. So welcome and happy spring to everybody. I hope everybody had wonderful holidays over the last couple of weeks here. You know, certainly what a year we've all been through. And even though we are still experiencing a variety of ups and downs with the vaccine availability and new strains of the virus, I have to say that I am so grateful that there is so much of an optimistic feeling in the air, a hopefulness along with the springtime that we are getting to the light at the end of this very long tunnel. So, if you look back, who could have ever imagined a year ago that many of us would still be working from home, that we'd still be watching the news and some of our favorite television shows broadcast live from our favorite stars' homes, that masks would be our latest fashion accessory, and that we would still treasure finding Charmin in the supermarket as our, a little guilty pleasure, right? Teresa's nodding her head there. And that we would all have wished that we had purchased a Zoom stock about a year or so ago, right? Again, none of us ever expected anything, has ever experienced anything quite like the coronavirus, and nor has anything ever had such wide spread impact on our lives, and nor created so much change. So I want to start out and get a handle on where the group is on a couple of areas in terms of how the pandemic has touched your life. So I think we're small enough right now, but we could also test out the hand raising with the icon. How many people lost someone, lost a loved one or a family member or friend to the pandemic? Let's see a show of hands. Yeah, okay. And does everybody know where their icon is, their hand raising icon? If you don't know where it is, you could locate it and try that out as well. I got a thumbs up there. Okay, got it. Okay, great. So many of us have experienced a loss. How about who has experienced having like a family wedding postponed or dramatically downsized? Mm-hmm. I am definitely in the trenches with everybody right now because I am planning my daughter's wedding for June. Okay, all right. How about who has attended, let's say, whether it was a wedding or a graduation or a birthday party or another milestone event, who has attended one of these types of events on Zoom? Who's had that experience? Okay. All right, good. A lot of us as well. Okay. And how about who's been like really moved by celebrating one of these milestones in one of these extraordinary ways online? Who's really had a moving experience as a result of that? Yeah. Okay, good. All right, great. Well, we've got all the bases covered. That always makes me feel very happy. And again, this has just touched us in so many ways. Again, it's just unbelievable. How the world has changed in just a year's period of time. We have all been impacted by the coronavirus in one way, shape, form, or another. There just really hasn't been escaping it. But so how do you go about coping with all this change that's happened so quickly? How do you bounce back and move forward and function in this new normal, whatever that new normal definition is of the day? And so in essence, how do we move forward in the face of all this uncertainty? So the good news is that I've discovered some really incredibly effective strategies for managing unexpected life change. And that's really what I want to share with you today. And whether it's change related to the coronavirus or another kind of change, what I'm going to share with you works, okay? And this is something you likely weren't taught in school, yet it's very learnable. And so what is the secret strategy? Well, I'd like to suggest that it's resilience, okay? And so again, I'm going to share with you some easy to implement strategies today for managing life's unexpected changes. And again, this is really the crux of what I want to be sharing with you today. My goal really is to empower you to let go of what was, which is not an easy thing to do, and trust so that you can move forward with greater courage and confidence. So that you can manage change effectively rather than allowing change to manage you. So I'm going to share my screen now for a moment and give you an overview of what we're going to be covering today. We're going to kind of go back and forth between the screen. And oops. Okay, all right. And actually that's interesting because I lost, now you guys can see me, I can't see you now. Hold on one second, let me try sharing this again.
Yes, we can see you.
I can see you.
You can
Yes,
see,
I can see you.
okay. If I leave up my my little slides on the left, will that annoy you? Or can we leave those slides up? Okay, always helps me to be able to see that there are actually people out there that I'm talking to. All right, great. So, so let's move forward here. Okay, so what we're going to cover today, we're going to talk about how change shows up, how it's been showing up through COVID, and talk about the different phases of transition. Then we're going to spend some time making resilience real, making it tangible, something that we can define together, look at some role models, because I really want you to be able to step into what resilience is and make sure you have the right kind of support set up for yourself. Then I'm going to reveal 9 character traits that are that foster resilience, particularly as we age. Then we'll get into discussing some strategies for managing change during COVID, including a very powerful mindset strategy, as well as some other simple practices. And then we'll wrap up with 5 action steps, putting all this together into follow-up items that you can take out of this session today to manage a particular change or loss that may be impacting you. So that's something I want you to think about as we get started here. Is there a particular change or question or concern or loss that you're experiencing? If there is, keep it in the back of your mind and use that as an example as we go through the exercises today. Okay. So, oh, and let me also mention, let me go back for a second. I also have a couple of bonus offerings to give you at the end of our sessions. So stick around, you need to be present in order to receive them. And so I hope that you will enjoy what I've got in store for you as well. And also, as Heather mentioned, if you have any questions that arise as we go, to the chat. Okay, so managing change today. So the process of change, there's 2 sides to any change. The one side is kind of the exciting side that, something new, different is happening. And so there's, anticipation, positive anticipation. The other side of that, though, is fear. And that tends to be the fear of the unknown that can lead to stress. And left unchecked, this stress can ultimately lead to chronic illness, which obviously is something we want to hold to tamp down there.